So it's saying it's preparing. Okay, so we should be live. So let me just check, Tracy, that we are live, and then we'll just get chatting.
I just click got it because it says got it on my screen.
There you go. Yep, we're definitely live. Okay, so obviously I'll introduce you in a minute, Tracy. I'm really excited, especially after what you just said. Like I'm super pleased with like it sounds like you've achieved some amazing results. So for everyone that's tuning in tonight and watching, this is Tracey. How long have you been working with us now, Tracey?
Just over about 6 months.
Yeah, so Tracey's been working with us about 6 months, and yes, I can't wait to share results. I'm really excited. So she's been with us 6 months. She was just telling me about where she was kind of at, what kind of size clothes she's wearing, and she went shopping with her boys today. I won't ruin the story. I'll let her tell it in a minute. But it's going to be a great story to share, because I think a lot of you ladies that are watching tonight will probably resonate with Tracey's story. You're probably sharing a lot of the way that she was feeling before, and hopefully it will serve some inspiration and motivation. So as I always do, when I first get started on these, if you're watching live, throw me a hashtag live. Please engage with this evening, ask questions, anything. You can ask Tracey anything related to kind of, what she's done, what's worked for her, how she's found working with us, anything at all, any questions that pop into your head as and when we're talking, stick them in the comments below. But please say hello, please engage with us. It's always good to have some engagement. And if you're watching on replay, still the same thing, engage, ask questions, and I will respond to you. Okay, I will get back to you. And if you're new this evening, because I know we have got some new ladies that joined recently, let us know that you're new this evening. Okay, so let's get into it. So where we'll start, Tracey, is if you can kind of just fill everyone in where you feeling, like what was your situation before you started working with us?
I got to the place where I was the heaviest I'd ever been. I was feeling really fat. I had really bad body image. I was starting to get to the stage where I didn't want to go out with friends, because every time I was trying to get dressed, I was putting things on and I felt ugly and fat. And it was just knocking my confidence, really. I was like embarrassed about it. And I was also worried because my mum died when I was quite young, and I was worried that was going to happen to me, because I had some bad habits. I was drinking too much and I used to smoke, although I had given that up just before I started with art. So I just had lots of bad habits, and I thought I need to do something. I need to sort of sort myself out, and be a healthier and I wanted to get back to how I felt when I was younger and be happy with myself.
Yeah. And, thank you for sharing all that. And I'm pretty positive, Tracey, that most of the women, if not all of the women that will watch this either tonight or watch it, on replay in the future, I think nearly every woman I speak to will share in those feelings, like worried about their health. Maybe they've got relatives that have got health issues, or their body image is not in a good place. So you're definitely not alone in that. And anyone that's watching tonight, like hopefully this shows you, like if you watch these kind of client success stories, I think the stories are real common. Like a lot of you women are sharing the same kind of problems. Okay, so you weren't in a great place. Like you're really worried about your health when you first started. And what had you already tried in the past?
I've tried loads of things. I've been dieting my whole life, to be honest. I've Weight Watchers, Slimming World. I tried those colon cleanse tablets. raspberry something or other as well. They made absolutely no difference whatsoever. Gillian McKeith, Rosemary Connolly. I did one diet called the Dukan diet, which was I was really successful on that. I lost over 3 stone, but I put it all back on after I'd lost it. So yeah, I've done all kinds of different things.
So had you lost weight with other stuff in the past as well?
Yeah, I lost weight on all of them, but like particularly like things like I mean, when I did Rosemary Connolly and things like that, they were ones when I was trying to do it on my own. And I just didn't have enough focus, to be honest, on those ones. When I did Slimming World and Weight Watchers and went to classes, I would get so far, and then I would never reach my goal.
And knowing what you know now, so what you've kind of learnt with the 6 months with us, what do you think was missing from all those other things that you tried?
I think there's too many things to list, to be honest. One of the reasons I've been really successful in losing weight, I think, on what I've been doing, and if you think about particularly things like Weight Watchers and Slimming World, and particularly this Dukan diet, which although I was really successful on it, it was that they're all restrictive. They're all really restrictive diets, and they mean that you can't, when you're doing them, they're fine. You can lose weight while you're doing them, but if anything comes and gets in the way, like you go out for a meal for somebody's birthday or you do something else, it messes it up, if you see what I mean, and you can't you feel like you've failed. And so it's like the binge and restrict sort of thing, I think. And particularly like that Dukan diet, that was like you most of the time on that you just ate protein, which is obviously why it worked quite well, because it filled you up, but you ate lots of protein and vegetables and no carbohydrates, no potatoes.
And did it allow you freedom to, like, if you wanted to go and have a drink, if you wanted to go out and enjoy yourself, was there any of that?
No, you couldn't. You weren't supposed to drink at all. I used to drink gin, but I used to drink it neat.
Oh my God.
I know, it's sad, isn't it?
No, it's not sad. And like, I know we're laughing, and like you're in a position where you can laugh about that now, but I'm pretty sure your story of trying everything and doing things like that, I'm pretty sure that has, a lot of women's experiences. In fact, if you're watching, like, let us know in the comments if you've had similar experiences where you've done things which just have meant you couldn't live a life, or you were drinking gin straight so you could have a drink so it'd fit in with your diet. Let us know in the comments if any of that kind of resonates with you at all, and you've tried all this stuff and you've lost weight and then regained it. Okay, so you ended up signing up with us. However, so when you first kind of chatted to me, what was it that eventually got you to kind of say, yes, I'm gonna do this?
I think it's because I felt like I was important and that you really wanted to help me. I think it was, and like you asked my husband to take part in the conversation that we had, and you involved him, and I felt like it was important. It was important to you that if you could help me, you wanted to help me. And I know it's obviously a business for you, but there seemed to be like a genuineness about it. And I thought, well, I need to try something different. It seemed like it was more than just a diet club. You're going to have somebody that you could talk to about things that you were struggling with. So it was like more of a personal touch. I think that's what it was that made me want to do it, I think.
And like, if it obviously, in fact, it's probably best if we kind of share what kind of results and how the program has helped or impacted you. So 6 months, what have been your successes, Tracey? Like, kind of what have you seen happen over the last 6 months?
Well, I've lost quite a lot of weight. I've lost 3 stone, so 42 pounds, I think you said, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So I've lost quite a lot of weight. I've lost it a lot in my face, which I'm
And I
happy
can see.
about.
I remember from our first call, I can see it.
Yeah, I've started to fit into clothes that I've got in my wardrobe that I haven't been able to fit into for about 3 or 4 years. I've got a pair of jeans on today that I couldn't fit into that are really comfy. In fact, I think they might even be getting a bit baggy.
So you were telling us before we went live,
Pardon?
you went shop, you were saying before we went live, weren't you? You went shopping with your sons.
Yeah, I went shopping with my sons today to a designer outlet to try and get a few bits and pieces for their Christmas presents. So yeah, but I obviously I went into a couple of shops myself, and I was telling Adam that I bought I tried on this dress for like a Christmas dress. It was like a blue velvet with like a sheer sort of back, and it was a size 12, which was amazing. And my son bought it for me, which I thought was really nice.
Yeah,
It
no,
made
that's
me feel
really
really
nice.
good that I could fit into a 12, and I felt like attractive in it, and which is really good. But it's not to me, I would, although the weight is fantastic and the way I feel about myself having done that, it's far more than the weight to me about what ARC have done for me. Much more than the weight. Really, they I feel like the focus that you have in ARC is about you, but it's not just about your weight loss journey. It's about things that affect that journey. And I've learned so much. And I thought I knew quite a lot already, but about what I could eat and that sort of thing. But I would say I have an idea of what to eat, if you don't know what I mean. I know that I need to eat protein to keep me full, and little things like that. But there's so many other things that I didn't know about the things that can affect your weight loss, like stress, and like if you don't eat carbs, you can lose water and things like that. And water, you can have water retention for all kinds of different reasons. And there's just so many things that I've learned on my journey with ARC that have helped me. And particularly, stress has been a big thing for me before I joined ARC. And I've learned lots of things about how to cope with that as well, much better. And I still struggle a little bit. I had a really difficult time the last couple of weeks with my manager at work, but talking to my coach has really helped. So it's like it's just much more than weight loss. It's about the whole person and making that person feel good about themselves in all kinds of different ways, really.
I think that's such a great share, Tracey. Like from my experience, I speak to a lot of women, and a lot of women watching this will say, I know what to do. Like I know how to lose weight. I know what to eat, and they've lost weight in the past, but that probably isn't the problem. Like, as you said, your problem's been dealing with stress and how that's impacted you. It's also maybe some like small nuances that you didn't realize or understand before, which would impact your motivation, and all of these little things, like, even though they might seem quite small, they all kind of add up. Like, would you say that's true? Like it's understanding all the things that impact you from being consistent and all the little things that you've learned.
Yeah, it is all of those all of those little things, knowing that, like if you keep restricting yourself, then you're not going to achieve your goals necessarily, because that's not real life. You've got to be able to live your life, and sometimes you want something a bit different, and it's all the little things that can affect that. There's just so many things that I've learned, really, that I didn't know.
What's been the biggest difference for you from all those other diets, everything else you've tried, to what we've done with you?
I think it's the biggest thing is the one-to-one coaching, I think, and having that person that you can message and talk to once a week, or I think it's once every 2 weeks that I'm speaking to my coach now. But I can message her. And like when I was going through a stressful time with my manager, she just helped me get things in perspective. So yeah,
If they're watching, I think the coaches are amazing. I don't know if you agree,
I
Tracy.
think the coaches are amazing too. In fact, all of them are amazing though. So like the other things that you offer that you know you can tap into the other coaches, for all kinds of different things that you offer. It is amazing, really. You know, there's so many things. I mean, one of the coaches, I don't know if I'm allowed to mention names.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, go for it.
So, I mean, I think all of the coaches are lovely, so don't feel offended if I haven't mentioned your name. But I really resonate with Chloe and some of the things that she says, and I've learned a lot from listening to talks from Chloe, and I've learned a lot from that. So there's just so many things that you offer that I would say to people, if you don't know whether to go with it or not, then if you can afford it, then just do it, because you won't regret it.
Oh, thank you, Tracy. Yeah, I should add, like, Chloe is amazing. She unfortunately is going on maternity leave, but you know she's recorded loads and loads of stuff anyway. But like, I don't think people realize she's trained to be a counselor. She's already a trained therapist. She's a nutritionist. She's trained to deal with women with eating disorders. And she's been through a lot of that stuff herself. Like, she's been through, like, she's got autoimmune conditions. Like, she's got like, she is an incredible woman. Like, really, really amazing. All the coaches though are brilliant.
They are
But
all amazing as well. Jenny's got some does a lot of things like that as well, doesn't she?
yeah,
Jenny, one of the newer coaches.
yeah. So like, Jenny is got similar qualifications. I think the only thing that's different is Chloe's now trained to be a counsellor as well as a therapist, whereas Jenny's got pretty much all the other stuff apart from the counsellor qualifications. They're really good friends, actually. They met on one of their courses they did. Anyway, so you said that for you, like, obviously you've lost 3 stone in 6 months, you've dropped 3 dress sizes in 6 months, like, the weight and all of that stuff is great. What would you say? Because you said that's been obviously brilliant, but it's not everything. What other impact? What impact has that had on you? Like, how has that benefited your day-to-day life?
What, losing the weight or?
Yeah, so like, well, not even just losing the weight, like the work we've done in the 6 months, what else has changed for you that isn't just related to the scale weight, isn't just related to the dress sizes?
I feel like I'm a much calmer person. I feel like I have learned tools and skills on how to handle more difficult situations, and that's from all the coaches. You know, there's other coaches that have given me lots of tips, of things to help with that, you know, on question and answer sessions and that sort of thing. I've got a few medical issues, and I've learned through information that you've provided about menopause. I've learned lots of things about that have helped, that have meant that I felt more confident when I've been talking to the doctors about it. It's just like a whole rounded thing. I've gained ways of, I don't know, I've sort of reconnected with my family as well. I think that's probably a big thing for me. I feel like
That's amazing.
We were all sort of like separated. We'd all sort of separated, and we were all eating meals on our own and things like that. But we all eat dinner together, and we make like a big thing of it. And I feel like we've all reconnected, and we have a lot of fun together. I mean, we used to have fun when we went on holiday, but it was sort of like once in a blue moon, whereas we do it all the time now.
I love it. That's brilliant. That's really, really good to hear. So I'm going to give you a couple of minutes, Tracy, just to think of one tip for everyone watching. If there's one thing that has really helped you that might help someone else, like don't say it right now, just think about it, because what I'm going to do is while you're thinking about anyone that's watching, this is now kind of your opportunity. We're coming to the end of the client success story. So if you've got any questions at all for Tracey or for me, anything at all, this is an opportunity for you to stick them in the comments below, and we'll answer all of your questions, me and Tracey, anything at all. And are you ready, Tracey? So one tip that you would give to anyone.
I think my tip is that quite often when we're trying to lose weight, if you fall off the wagon, you think that's it, and you think, oh well, I might as well forget about it now and carry on. And I think my tip would be, no, don't do that. I used to when I went on holiday, I'd like come back and I'd have put loads of weight on, and I'd lose motivation then to carry on. But I've been on holidays while I've been working with ARC, and I've continued to. I might have put a couple of pounds on while I was on holiday, but I've got straight back on it, and I've lost it all again. So I think just don't be put off by little things. You've got to. I suppose the thing I've learnt the most is the tip is be kind to yourself. So don't beat yourself up about things all the time. Be kind to yourself.
I love that. I think that's a great tip. That's really, really good, Tracey. Quite really quiet this evening.
Oh,
Alison earlier, when you was talking, was saying you're definitely not alone. So when you're sharing like your story and your experiences. So there's been that. Hi, Sandra says hi. Sarah says hi. Julie says well done. But really, really quiet this evening. No questions for us. So I'll give it another kind of 30 seconds. And if you are watching this on replay, if you do have questions for myself or Tracey, please put them in the comments below, and I will obviously come back to you. I will answer them. Yeah, I can't see any questions. So nice. I'm not going to keep you all evening, Tracey.
okay, thank you. I
So
hope
I
I've
was saying,
been
be
useful
kind
to
to yourself.
somebody if they watch it back on replay.
Well, typically what we find is, Tracey, we get about 10, anything between 10 and 30 people watch it live, but then at least 500 to 3,000 will watch it on replay. So you are going to get more people will watch it on replay. So I'm sure there'll be more that will interact. But for those that have turned up tonight, thank you ever so much for tuning in. I know it's half term. I know people obviously have away on holiday and have plans and stuff. So if you've tuned in and you've watched, I do really appreciate you coming and watch. And I'm sure Tracey does too. And obviously a massive thank you, Tracey, for giving up your time and sharing your story. Again, like I'm sure that there will be more than one person that will watch this and it will resonate with, and they will feel exactly how you felt or used to feel. And hopefully this gives them inspiration that they don't have to give up, that it's not, the end of the world, and they can do this. So thank you. I really do appreciate it.
Okay, thanks very much.
All right. I'll speak to you soon, Tracey. Keep going. You're doing amazing.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Thanks, everyone. See you soon. Bye.